Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mario here, and I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here. We're back from the Backseat Toys, as you guys probably already know at this point. And welcome back to more Let's Play of The Simpsons Road Rage for the Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox, and Game Boy Advance. So last time we actually did, Professor Frank in the Road Rage mode. And then we'll decide to actually just go ahead and take a break from this mode for the time being, because today, in this episode, we're about to be hit off to the different mode. Rather than just actually going for Sunday Drive, instead we're actually going to go to mission mode. So here we have right here. Help your favorite characters achieve their goals before time runs out. So, basically what this is that basically it's more likely a mission-based mode. So that you can actually tackle through mission by mission. So that, well, there are basically 10 of those missions in total. So here's the first mission. Were these papers shreddy? Mr. Burns has brought up the Springfield sharpener and filled the paper with Pro 10 strains Paragritter. Willie can't stand for it. He needs to seek out and destroy 12 of 20 newspaper boxes before time runs out. So, before when you start out this mission up, you actually get yourselves a little reading description so that what you're actually supposed to do in these types of missions. Like, for instance, in the first mission that we actually have to go ahead and drive through, I think it's in the Springfield Dam. Or, no, I think it's not Springfield Dam. It's on the Entertainment District, and we have to...
You won't get away with this, Burns!
We have to destroy 12 of those newspaper boxes, so just in case if you want to actually, well, trying to complete the mission, then you can move on to the next level, in this case the next mission. So basically it's summed up like this. Well, basically that well, you don't have to destroy every single object throughout, unlike Shadow the Hedgehog. That in Shadow the Hedgehog you need to destroy all those certain things, like for instance destroying all the bombs in Mad Matrix. That mission is far tedious. Whilst in this game, you don't have to like destroy everything. So instead, you just have to like, well, go for the possible way of like getting certain number of things, like, you know, destroying all 12 of those newspaper boxes. Once you've done that, then you can move on to the next mission. So you know, it's a bit like a level progression. You all know that. One of the annoying things about the mission mode, though, is the fact there are so many loading screens. Like, for instance, if we actually go to fail the mission, if we're about to hit the restart option on the pause menu, well, before anything else, Homer on the run. Mr. Burns found out that Homer left work to watch the baseball game, and it's planning to sneak back into work. Bart has to drive Homer back to work without being hit by Mr. Burns. So, yeah, basically we need to deliver Homer to work in the unclear power plant, so to speak, for that level location was going to take place in. Yeah, because, well, I did not know there was actually a baseball, court, or in this case a stadium on the, that level, though. Yeah, as far as I do not know already, so anyways.
Boy, remember what Daddy told you about being responsible and showing up to work on time? Well, it's all a lie.
Homer, that's America to me.
Yeah, sometimes when you're actually trying to start off the mission up, that you actually get yourselves a little character do have their own perspective dialogue, meaning that something was going to happen during the, well, during the missions themselves. Yeah. The second mission is pretty easy. It's just basically you need to find the power plant, or in this case, little inside part, so that you can actually find a way where you drop Homer in. Well, at least if you remember the level layout pretty well. Barney's revenge. Barney had a rough night, and he's going to take out on the town's various mascots. He needs to find and knock over at least 12 mascots before time runs out. So, again, another timer-based type of mission. In fact, most of the majority of these missions are just basically just time limit-based missions. Yeah, I know that. So, the first set of few missions, when you actually just to be good at the game, that it should be quite as easy as it should be. But later on, when we get into the mission number 8, and later on, things will get a bit more ridiculously hard, especially Mission 8. But, at least we can actually just talk about that when we actually get into that. So, here we are, just go ahead and knock out all 12 of those mascots. Again, much like the lead newspaper boxes, is that you don't have to destroy all of them throughout the town, because if it does happen on here, then it'll be making much more ridiculous and unfair. So for these mascots, you can actually find them in downtown. That's what this level's located in. There's actually an easier way to actually catch up to like the majority of those mascots. Although if you missed out, if you actually get lost in these when you're trying to find those mascots, I highly recommend to you to actually get into the stadium, because if you go into the stadium, you actually knocked out all 3 of those mascots all in one. So that's pretty cool. So anyways, next up we have Otto's driving test. It's time for Otto's annual driving test. If he can knock over 15 of 20 streetlights at the mini mall before the time runs out, he gets to keep his license. So basically we just have to knock those streetlights out from well, I think it's the location that is. It's just in an entertainment district. You know, just like how it does it for you know, the newspaper boxes. So yeah, I guess a few things we just have to talk about is that we haven't mentioned in the previous video is that recently.
Right. Time to renew the old driver's license. Got it.
Anyway, recently yesterday that new Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo DS actually being re-released on the Nintendo Wii U's Virtual Console just recently yesterday. And we actually did download it today. Yeah, so we figured that out though, is because well, we decided that well, spoiler warning, that we can actually do a remake playthrough of the game, so that we can actually have ourselves a much better quality. And as well as that though, that rather than just pointing at the camera to make it much more pointless quality, and hopefully those should be good to go for this for the most part. Well, Mickey actually did done that playthrough before on one hand. Anyway, Snake's day off, mission number 5. Snake's out on parole, and his decide to wreak havoc at the power plant as part of his community service. If he runs over 20 barrels of unclear waste, Mr. Burns won't have any fuel left for the buses. So we just have to basically just knock those you know, barrels out. So that's basically what we could do. Yeah, in fact we need to knock out the, you know, 20 of those. Anyway, so let's get this started here, and basically that, you know, we're taking place in unclear power plants, as you can probably tell.
Time for crime spree. This town is so dumb.
Weird thing about this is just when you're actually trying to hit something, it gets like this little weird sound effects, like well, you might go hear it occasionally, such as like this. Yeah, it goes like do do do, stuff like that, meaning that yeah, there's a louder, clear version of that. But hey, this mission wasn't so bad though. So as far as the mission mode is concerned, that, you know, we're about to encounter those 10 missions, and it does kind of remind me like a time attack mode in Mario Party's 9 through Island Tour and Bowser Challenge in Mario Party 10, and as well as the perspective mode in Mario Party 9 especially. Yeah, because you know, for those games that you actually counted 10 different mini games, whereas in this it's just 10 different missions. Next up we have is They Never Take Me Alive. Grandpa Simpson forgot to take his medicine and is convinced the garbage cans along the road are out to get him. He needs to knock over at least 12 garbage cans before time runs out. So I think we have to do this in Springfield Dam. I think that's what the levels you need to be located in, because, well, obviously we know that the garbage cans are located in you know, the Springfield Dam. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's give this one a shot then. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this.
They'll never take me alive, I tell you. Never.
Okay, this is one. Oh, I think I missed one. Okay, let's just continue. Yeah. Oh, crud, I missed one. Actually, let's just restart. So yeah, one of the most annoying thing, you know, again, as I said before in the suggestion for this video, is that, well, there's a lot of loading screens when you actually depend on if you actually approach to the mission or not. Or even then, if you exit out the mission, or if you're about to restart the level, or in this case, to restart the mission itself, it does contain a bunch of loading screens. It's bad enough that how in Sonic 06 has some really bunch of loading screens, or even then, it takes freaking forever. I know that, because when you actually trying to do, like, let's say for instance, if we actually do a town mission on that game, that if you're about to come across into the you know, the dark walking mission or go through rings type of missions, that basically that how you have to wait for a loading screen until when that guy actually tells you what to do, and then you have to wait for another loading screen until you actually do the actual mission. There we go. Now we actually done this for a successful attempt. Yeah. Anyway, about for that little stimulating for that some little town missions you actually achieved on, you have to wait for another loading screen for a result screen, and then another loading screen to go back to the hub world, which to me it's such a pace breaker. I know that. Anyways, mission number 7, here we go. Save the hover car. Professor Frank has just developed a fuel-ineffective hovercraft, or hover car, sorry, and Mr. Burns is determined to destroy it. He and Mania Quaverly must get to City Hall to prevent his innovation. Watch out for Mr. Burns. So basically, I think Mr. Burns is usually the personal data gets someone on, I don't know. But I think we're actually going to be heading to his downtown, because that we actually going to take a mayor to the City Hall. So that's basically being suggested. This mission is very similar to mission number 2, but except
Thank
that,
you,
well...
fair citizen.
So happy to be on the road with driving, steering, and the cell phone related mishaps.
But yeah, it's basically like mission number 2, but except that we're actually going to be taking place in a different location. So, you know, it's usually in downtown. Now, if you hear Mr. Burns says...
Get him, Smithers.
If he says that, dodge. Because if you get blocked by him, you're probably going to get a time over in this mission. So, in this case, if you get mission failed for that stage. So, yeah, just a little suggestions right there. Because if you dodge him, then you should be able to take the mayor to the City Hall, no problem. But if not, then you probably have to restart the mission again. Yeah, as far as you guys already know this. Okay, now we move on to mission number 8, which is probably the most trickier of all. It's not the trees. Lisa just found out the logging company is chopping down trees. In Redwood Forest, she is going to disrupt their plans by knocking over 24 pieces of their neatly placed piles of wood. So, I know for the fact this mission is so ridiculously hard compared to the previous missions. It's because, well, we'll be actually going to get into that eventually. So, anyway, let's just go ahead and right through this. Unfortunately though, since we're actually going to be doing this mission, and since this mission was too hard, well, usually it's the hardest mission throughout this game, is that unfortunately we have to do this on Springfield Mountains, which...
The time for action is now.
Which is not my cup of tea, if you ask me.
Whee!
Even then, that, you know, sensing Springfield Mountains was definitely the most trickier level of all 4 of those.
This is somewhat
It's because,
ironic
you
when
know,
really think
it's
about
really
it.
hard to actually just to get those higher scores as possible on a stage. Especially noticeable on this mission. What I recommended to you guys is the fact that is just that you can actually just do this as much as we can be. But you need to be super fast on this mission because you know, if you didn't make the just one point in time, well, we'll explain to that when we actually get into it. In fact, we actually got 8 seconds left, so we need to be fast. Go on. Okay, that's on that. And we can actually make it to there. And, oh, so close.
No! Not the trees! Not the precious life-giving trees! Why?
I guess we have to restart the mission. But yeah, definitely one of the hardest missions of this game because, no matter what though, but sometimes you need to actually just to be fast and don't get bumped into any sort of cars. Especially you have to deal with the 50-second time limit. I first thought it was going to be like a 60 or so, or in this case a minute time limit, so it makes this mission easier. But no, it was just 50 seconds.
The time for
But
action
anyways,
is now.
yeah, there's not much you can just, tell from that, so for that retrospective for this little particular segment here, so... Yeah, you need to be right on with those logs, because if you somehow bypass those little blue areas, and by the way, those blue areas, those are the areas where you have to, like, just, destroy so far. It's a good thing that, those blue areas did actually help you throughout these little particular objects for these missions, because without them, that will be making much more difficult. Somehow we actually missed those logs. The good thing about the when you actually take down those logs though, however, is that you can actually get yourselves 3 logs taken down. So that might be a cool thing if you actually just about to like, well, it's not like you actually just only get 1 log, but at least even then you can actually get 3 logs down. So because of that though, we need to knock down those 8 of those logs. Yeah, because according to the timetable of the times 8, the number of times 8, that well, basically 3 times 8 makes 24. So basically, you just have to knock out those 24 logs. So even then, that might be a little stimulating stuff. Why do we kept on missing some stuff? Oh jeez, we're doing so pretty precise for this little situation. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to be fast. Be fast as we can do now. Okay, hopefully we can get this time. If we actually don't get disrupted with those cars. Oh, come on, come on, come on, make it. Yes! Alright, just in time. With just on exactly 0 seconds. Oh. It can be a little bit difficult sometimes if you're actually first time playing this. But yeah, just follow our decisions to, know what to do, what this mission do. But anyway, mission number 9, Krustys Escape. Krusty the Clown is tired of dealing with all of the tour buses that follow the street signs that mark the path of his house to his house. He needs to knock down at least 15 of these signs to throw them off the track. So, yeah, basically we have to just knock out those signs we have to deal with. Yep, just like the logs and stuff like that. And I'm guessing that we're actually going to be doing this on downtown. Yeah, downtown as it is. Okay, so at least we actually got a minute to do this, so that's pretty cool.
Hey! Now let's get out of here.
Alright, so let's go ahead and do this, shall we? Yeah.
Get him, Smithies.
Oh, that'll cost the city a few hundred shamolas.
So, yeah, we only got about 2 missions left, so, yeah. Another thing we'd like to talk about is that, recently we just actually, since yesterday we actually discussed about Super Smash Bros. Super Nintendo 3DS and Wii U presentation so far for this, yesterday. Or in this case, the number of videos ago, that, recently today, that, we actually downloaded ourselves a Cloud DLC and Midgar stage from, Final Fantasy VII stage. And it's really awesome for the most part. Yeah, it's really awesome to see for this little part. Yeah, I know that. Okay, we need to get last 2 of those signs, and booyah, the mission's completed. Yeah, have that laugh there, Krusty the Clown. So yeah, have fun with that, I suppose. Yeah. So yeah, we only got 1 more mission left. So it's basically you only get 10 missions throughout. So yeah, that's basically you can get there, people. Okay, so here we have Burns Arena. Homer is going to get Mr. Burns once and for all by destroying the statues in his garden. Each garden is made of 2 or more pieces. Homer needs to break 20 pieces before the time runs out. So, now interesting about this mission is just the fact that basically we have to like deal with this mission as in a different perspective. Like the camera we're actually just trying to put into a different position. Yeah, you see why we can actually get into this mission. Alright, so here we go. So I believe this stage actually takes place in Springfield Mountains, but we're not going to be traversed through the roads
You'll
or anything.
remember my name when we're finished here, Burns.
Get him, Smithers.
Yeah, as you can see that right there, that we actually in a different perspective right here, that the camera is somehow zoomed out like this, and because of that though, we need to destroy those statues in this position. So yeah, it might be a little bit harder for some, but it might be easier though. But the only thing you need to worry about is just Mr. Burns is catch you off guard. Because of that though, that if you saw in the countless times we're actually going to bump into him, that basically he'll try to temporarily slow you down, especially noticeable in this stage, or in this case this mission. Right, let's go.
You'll remember my name when we're finished here, Burns.
Get him, Smithers.
So yeah, this mission itself is quite... Oh god. Now we're back into this
Hey!
camera position.
What the-
For some reason where we actually
Hey!
just drove far away from the
In your
hedges.
face!
So, yeah. I think the majority of this mission is basically takes place in Mr. Burns' garden, so we don't have to deal with the road
Homer
driving
1,
situations.
Burns
So,
0.
at least
Take
that sounds
that.
good to
So
go for
long,
this part.
suckers.
Why do we constantly drive past these statues?
What the?
Oh god, oh we're stuck. Oh god, he's such a waste opportunity here. Well, there goes both the first attempt and the second attempt, so now we'll go for the third attempt. Again, because of the loading screens can take far more longer, it probably took about like 10 seconds. Another example the game has been ruined by the loading screens is I'm guessing it's Mega Man X7 that I'm pretty sure Mega Man X7 is
You'll
considerably
remember my
the
name when
worst
we're finished
Mega
here,
Man X
Burns.
game that was ever made. I think it's not only because of the its little 3D department of it's really
Burn,
ruined the game,
0.
but I think it's also because of the stupid
What the-
flipping loading times, or in this case
Hey!
loading times in general. Because there are so many of those
Just call
things.
me Air Homer.
Especially when anyone is not able to edit up the video at all. But I mean, even then, that might be, won't be the case throughout. Anyways, so let's go ahead and just smash those up. And hopefully we can actually do it successful or not.
In your
Ooh,
face.
come on! Ah, come on. Yeah, sorry for the little brief voice cutout because well the video footage kind of lagged a little bit, but at least we fixed that, I suppose. Okay, let's do this one more time, and if we actually failed this for one last time, then we have to cut it until we actually do a successful attempt. Yeah, just like the ones in well
Remember my name when
the
we're finished
perspective
here,
mode in
Burns.
Mario Party 9, so... But at least even then, that, and I can't believe how, Orange City actually did done the final mini-game of perspective mode for one try.
Homer 1,
I mean, that's
Burns,
incredible.
0.
Yeah, I know
Hey.
that, tell me about it.
So long,
Anyways,
suckers.
let's,
What the-
oh
In
gosh.
your face.
This mission
Hey.
could be quite easy, but the only trickier part is the camera
Hey.
perspective,
What the-
and
what
Mr.
the-
Burns will actually trying to
Take that.
block your
Homer 1,
progress.
Burns, 0.
And there we go,
Hey.
folks. That's how
I
the
am
old,
smart.
that's how the mission
I
mode
am
ends.
smart.
So once you actually complete all 10 of those missions, you get yourselves a special reward.
What the?
Like something almost related to like we'll see that when we actually just when this thing showed up. So this is what happens if you actually complete all 10 of those missions. You get yourselves this prize.
The sticker price is $82,000.
So yeah, this was actually called Car Built for Homer. So basically that if you actually go ahead and select Homer Simpson and you kill the selection screen, that Homer is now able to actually use those two vehicles in one. So you can actually use the regular one and the car built for Homer.
$82,000.
I always like that dialogue. It always makes me funny whenever that happened anyway. So anyways, that all wraps up for this video here. So next time we'll let's play The Simpsons Road Rage. Is that we're about to show you car for build for Homer. So that we'll save that in the tomorrow's video. So anyway, see you guys next time. Later fellas. See you guys next time. Yep. Ciao. Yeah, see ya.